Well, howdy, 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 and welcome to the Red Dirt Aggie Show. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie, and that over there is...
What's up, y'all? My name is Trent Cowie. Hey, Brian, dude, thank you so much for having me on, man.
Yeah, dude, what's going on? Good to have you on. I know you're local around here, right? Around Magnolia, same as me?
Yeah, I'm from Magnolia, Texas. Currently reside in the Woodlands, so it's a little bit more expensive where I live now. But other than that, I call it home.
Yeah, for sure, man. Yeah, the Woodlands growing like crazy over there. Magnolia's growing like crazy now. Everywhere seems to be creeping further north up from Houston.
Yeah, just got to outrun it, man. It's crazy because whenever I got out of Magnolia, there was only like one stoplight, and now there's like 6 overpasses. So it's definitely a ever-changing city.
Yeah, no, and especially over there, the further east you go towards the Woodlands, it's like all gonna grow and connect, I guess, all the way over to the west side.
Too much concrete for my liking, brother. But hey, look, we all got to survive and make money and build businesses, and
yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess. It's one of those things. It's like, you get the new homes and businesses and stuff, but also it's just sad to see all those trees and all that grass go away in the farmland.
Man, it's crazy. It's crazy. But I hope they're doing something good with all them trees, man. Maybe making some guitars or making some paper for the children to learn and write on and stuff. I don't know. I hope it's all going to good use.
Songwriting paper.
Yeah, exactly.
Songwriting paper and guitars. That's what we need all those trees to be made.
I'm into that, brother.
Hell yeah. Well, I just want to start off, maybe give you a chance to introduce yourself a little bit, talk about kind of what got you into music in the first place and what kind of inspired you to start playing music, writing songs, performing and stuff.
Cool, man. Yeah, I've just been blessed to have been doing this for about 7 years now. Grew up in Magnolia, like I said, and just really, really have been taking it on full time for the past. Shoot, man, I want to say I've been doing it full time for the past 4 or 5 years, and it's been a real blessing. A lot of adversity, a lot of changes, a lot of hardship, honestly, being an artist in
Right.
today's world. But man, I love doing it, and I started out. Man, I talk about this a lot. Like, my grandma was the only person that really had any musical. Growing up, at least, like, that I saw, she was the one that was playing piano and singing gospel hymns in church and stuff. And I could go to church every Sunday and she'd be singing right next to me.
Right.
And I thought it was really cool. And so she had a piano at her house. And from a young age, I was always just beating the crap out of that old Kimball piano, not knowing what the heck I was doing. And just kind of started, I guess that's really where it started, is from my grandma and the fascination with the piano. And I can't play piano. Like, I cannot play piano at all. But I can beat on it until it sounds somewhat decent, and that's it. But
Right.
man, that's kind of where it started for me. And I've always liked writing in school, writing stories and picking up a pen and just trying to write something from my imagination. So, throughout the years, I just kind of started putting 2 and 2 together and picked up a guitar and self-taught myself how to play guitar. And I don't know, man. From here, looking back, it's kind of crazy, but
Well, yeah, and songs certainly tell a story for sure, and just kind of finding a different way to be able to kind of put that initial love of like, oh, like, how do I play this instrument? It started with the piano, and then finding a way like, oh, I can write songs and tell stories to this music, and I got to learn how to do this, kind of thing, right?
Right, exactly, dude. And that's the thing too, is like, my dad, when we were growing up, I was probably like 7 or 8 years old, and every Saturday we'd hang out outside in the backyard or in the garage, and we had 4-wheelers that we would tinker on. And my dad used to have this old radio, man. Like, I saw this meme the other day of a picture of this radio that, like, it said, like, if your parents didn't have one of these growing up, like, it said everybody's parents had one of these radios growing up, and it was like, had the foil antenna on it, and it was like 2 speakers and like a dial knob. Well, my dad had one of those in the garage, and so every time we were out, just tooling on the 4-wheeler or cleaning the garage or building something, he'd have 97.9 Country Legends on. or was it
Oh,
97.1, or it was one of those
97.1,
Houston
yeah.
stations. Yeah, 97.1.
Yeah.
And man, like, Conway Twitty would play, and old Hank and Roy Orbison and all those guys would be on the radio just in the back of my mind, like while I was tinkering on stuff with my dad.
Yeah.
And that's kind of like where I started falling in love with country music from a young age, because we did live that life. We lived. My dad worked really hard to provide for his family, and he always gave us things that we wanted, but we earned. Like if we wanted a four wheeler,
Right.
we'd have to know how to fix it, and if we wanted to have a good time, we would work for it. Like he'd always tell me, he'd like wake us up sometimes banging two pots and pans together at the end of the stairs. He'd be like, "Wake up, it's Saturday morning." He'd make us breakfast, and and then we'd go out to the garage and clean or work on something, and then we get to go ride the four wheeler. And I'm like, "Dad, why you always wake us up so early on Saturday? Like, this is our day off." And he's like, "Well, this is my only day off, so I got to do stuff around the house." So
Oh, that's funny.
yeah, man, just between like kind of living that life and going through that example through my dad. And I have two older brothers too that really set an example in that lifestyle too. It was just kind of bred this fascination for country music, and it's kind of developed the way of life that I live, and it was cool, man.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And then, there's obviously, you say country, but there's obviously like a large rock influence in a lot of what you do too that I could see. Is there anything that kind of inspired that as well? Other than just what you were listening to growing up? Or...
Oh, for sure, dude. Like I said, I had two older brothers, so man, like that's where I got all of it from. Like my brothers were in junior high while I was in like kindergarten, and like high school while I was in kindergarten. So I always had like examples to look up to. But growing up, man, I started becoming an angsty teenager and started listening to like, like everybody does back in like the early 2000s and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the Creed and the Stained and Three Doors Down, all the rock music that came out, like Blink 182. I listened to all that, dude. So like whenever I started getting into all that stuff, it started to just like change my life, because that I like at that time, I guess I didn't know there was another sound that I could fall in love with, but I absolutely did. So I always say that, man, like my inspiration comes from a melting pot of rock and classical country, or like old country, new country, like honky tonk and stuff. Like it all blends together, and I love it all. So I definitely have some of that rock in me too.
Well, yeah, and at the last show I was at, Harry's, when you were playing with Josh Ford, I noticed you threw in some covers there with the Creed and Three Doors Down and stuff, and I was like, hell yeah, like this is awesome. Like I grew up, I used to love that stuff, still do listen to it really, along with all the Texas music and the country music and stuff too, and it's cool to get to see a little bit of both together.
Yeah, man, and it was cool because I didn't know how Josh was going to take that if he heard it, because it's such a contrast. But I think that's really, there's like a niche that I found with that, that genre, that nostalgia. And I say nostalgia, I'll be 30 like this weekend. And like saying to some people, I've gotten some flack for saying nostalgia about early 2000s music. But to me, it is nostalgic because I was a lot younger when that stuff was coming out. So, man, like I kind of struck a chord with it. And I love to run with it because it's something that everybody kind of wants to hear again in a way. Like it's cool to see like country music come back, and it's also cool to see like 2000s alternative rock come back. You know what I mean?
And the Texas scene is kind of almost like having a little revival of that sound all on its own. You've got a lot of guys that are kind of leaning into that almost like punk rock, like alternative rock style, but they're still kind of labeled under country, but it's like this blend of like I don't know what to call it. They're calling it or something.
Yeah,
a few different things. But
man, it's cool to see. Yeah, for sure. Well, because there's so many different subgenres in Texas music. I think like I don't know. I think ultimately you have Texas music as the big umbrella, and then you have like Texas country, and then you have Texas rock and country or whatever, and then you have like. And I don't know, like the order is subjective to however you feel about it, but like there's so many different branches that branch from that, and like you got like artists like Treaty Oak. I'm wearing their shirt, like Treaty Oak's rock, dude. Like their new song, what is it, smiley face or happy face or something like that, that's unreleased. I know it's kind of been leaked on TikTok, but dude, that song has such a Blink-182 punk rock sound to it
Yeah.
that works so good because there is that subgenre. They found that vein of it, you know.
Yeah, man, I absolutely love them. Their shows have so much energy, man. They're badass for sure.
Me too, man.
But,
Yeah.
big Tritiok fan here. We had them on our podcast about a month before that album came out, that second album. So it was like right before all that came out. It was cool getting to talk to them. And they're
Oh, hell
nice
yeah.
guys. Yeah.
That's cool, man. Yeah, dude. We went to one of their shows, and they are absolutely without a doubt blowing up right now. But we went to one of their shows down in Houston at the 713 Music Hall,
Yeah,
which is it's a cool spot, man. It's super dope. But man, we were joking about it because I had like at least 5 or 6 kids come up to me asking if I could buy them a beer. I was like, dude, hell yeah, and then they had us, like I was there, you know, with me and my bass player, like my best friend Jake. Of course, our girlfriends Hannah and Nichelle, we were there, and like it was funny because like we enjoyed it, and then we saw some older people there too that were enjoying it. So they really just cast a wide net. You know, they really have a good dynamic or a diverse crowd, you know, so. Yeah,
and it's like, I don't know. I think it's just, even the lyrics and stuff, it's like there's some really good lines in some of the songs. Even it's like some of them are more simple, some of them are more complex, but it's just like, though, you think about it, you're like, dang, like I wish I would have thought of that. Like, it's,
right.
It connects with people, you know, and that's what you try to do, I guess, as a songwriter.
Yeah, my thing too with them is that I love how, and I don't know how they write their lyrics. I don't know if it's, I guess it's Sam is, I don't know how they do it, but I love how they put so many words in their verses and choruses. Like to me, that's like really cool. Like they don't have to use that many words, but the way they use that many words to get their story across is very cool. Like it's different. Like it's like a whole story. It's not like they have to, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that. I'm saying the fact that they can use that many words and cram it all into a song and it all makes sense and there's all good lines is pretty cool to me. Like I appreciate that as a songwriter for sure.
Yeah, you know, I never thought about it that way, but it's true. You know, they're kind of like, it's like, you know, something where a lot of songs would be like a long like note or a long verse, but it's just they have like long. I know what you're saying, but I don't know how to say it other than that. Like
lots of syllables, lots of different words.
Yeah.
Not a whole lot of held out notes, which they do that too. I mean, that dude can sing, man, and they're rocking.
For sure.
It's like the perfect storm.
Energy to the stage presence, you know, and then that's what I saw that at your show too. You know, just the moving around on stage and kind of like, you know, the bringing the excitement factor. It kind of gets the crowd into it. It makes it a good time.
Yeah, man. I absolutely think that if I'm playing on stage, there's nothing stopping me from just moving my arm weird because I just can't help it. Like I love to do that. You know, I love to just jump around and let it come out in the most natural way. And
I mean, people connect with that. People love that, you know, being yourself.
Yeah, man. I think that comes a lot with the more high energy kind of stuff. Like, I don't think you get that out of like traditional country as much. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Which you can. Like, you don't get me wrong, but like when you're sitting there listening to a country artist singing, you know, like a heartfelt song, and you're not, you know, they don't have to be up there jumping around, you know. But for me, it's like
supposed to, I guess. You know, if you're singing something like that, you don't want to be like, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like imagine me singing like Neon Moon and just running and doing cartwheels. Like, I don't think that would work.
You know, and I mean, each has its place and each is entertaining for different reasons. Like, you know, you go see somebody legendary like George Strait, for example. You know, I saw him at Kyle Field, which that was nuts. But just like, you know, he just sits on a stool and plays, and it just mesmerizes everyone because, you know, he's still the same George that he's been for the past, you know, however many years he's been doing this now, what, like 40, 50 years that he's been performing.
He's the king, dude.
For sure, the king. But yeah, so, you know, as a musician, I'm sure, you know, you find yourself out there on the road quite a bit, on the road down to Houston today too, but you stop at a gas station and you go in, what's your go-to gas station snack? What are you getting? Dude,
I'll probably, the thing that comes to my head first is a Red Bull. I always have to get a Red Bull, which I hate drinking them, to be quite honest with you. I hate drinking Red Bulls, but I love Red Bulls. So I'm getting a Red Bull, and man, like I'm not a big snack dude, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I don't like going and getting snacks. Like I'm not a big candy dude. Every now and then I'll have like a hankering for like a chocolate bar, and I'll usually get like a Butterfinger. But dude, I'll pass up 10 gas stations before I even think about that. You know what I mean? Like I don't know, man. So yeah, to answer your question, probably have to be a Butterfinger and a Red Bull.
Finger and a Red Bull.
Yeah,
Breakfast of champions.
hell yeah, dude. Or beef
Well, yeah.
jerky. Throw that in there for lunch.
But yeah, like I love Red Bull, man. I don't do coffee in the morning, so I drink like a sugar-free Red Bull a lot on the way to work and stuff when I'm tired. But yeah, it's like I wish I didn't sometimes because it's probably bad for you. But man, it wakes you up and it gives you that little bit of boost that you need.
Oh man, coffee doesn't do that for me anymore, bro. It gives you wings, exactly, dude. Like I'm like,
Yeah.
I drink a cup of coffee and I'm like, no, this ain't working. And I'll drink a Red Bull and I'm like, dude, today's great. You know, like I'm ready.
So we don't have an energy drink sponsor, by the way, on the show. If anybody wants it, Red Bull. If Red Bull's listening.
Red Bull, hit up.
Bull.
Hashtag Red
the
Bull.
Red Dirt Aggie Show and Trent Cowie.
Yeah, hell yeah, dude.
Hell yeah.
I like it. We're working as a team right now.
Yeah. Well, and I know been doing some stuff with Cowboy Revolution apparel too, right?
Yeah, man. Oh yeah.
The cowboy hats.
Yep.
But yeah, I know. They're a really cool brand too. I know I've in their program or whatever with the discount code and the hat and stuff. And then I was like, oh wait a minute, Trent does all his merch to them and stuff too. I was like, oh, that's awesome.
Man, dude, shout out to my boy Brandon, Cowboy Revolution. We've been working together for, man, I want to say 2 years now. Time flies. We've done a lot of very cool stuff. And honestly, the whole reason that my record was able to be paid for is because of Cowboy Revolution. Man, they set up a merch site, and that was the Record Maker collection on their website was my merch, and they hosted it through their website, and all the proceeds came to me to pay off my record, and we were able to do that, which without them and without countless other folks that have been super gracious and blessing to me. Wouldn't have been able to do it, but man, they set up that store, and yeah, we've been selling stuff online. We're still selling stuff online through them, and it's just a cool brand, dude. Brandon, he's a Marine veteran based out of Louisiana, and we just started working together. Matter of fact, our first design was a collaborative with the Birthday Jam. I did the Birthday Jam 2 years ago,
Yeah.
and we made shirts that were inspired by my song Dear Austin, and it was like this cowboy sitting crisscross, and he had like two flames in his hand because the lyrics of the chorus are, if I'm playing with fire, I better make friends with a flame. And so it's called the Friends of the Flame design. And that was the first thing, and it started all, and it just opened up a whole great business relationship and friendship, quite frankly. Like I consider Brandon one of my mentors, just because he's been in business for so long, and he's learned a lot through the Marines and through the service and all that. So just an all-around great dude, great company, and great hats. The cowboy hat, dude, you won't see me without one on.
Well, and like the quality on those hats is pretty nice too, because I tend to sweat through my hats a lot. Man, that thing breathes. The one that I got, black, but it breathes. And I was
Yeah.
But you mentioned Birthday Jam there a little bit. That's coming up again, isn't it?
Yeah, man. So Saturday, August 31st is next Saturday. I guess this coming Saturday. But yeah, man. I'm so excited. We got, I don't know if you heard of Garrison Nunn yet, but he's definitely somebody to check out. We got him playing full band.
Yeah.
I don't know if you know Kate Watson. I'm sure you've heard of her.
Yeah.
She's going to be on there full band. And then Hannah Kay, which she's from, dude, she's great. She was on The Voice a few years back. So we got 4 full bands, including myself. So it's going to be really fun. Kate's from Conroe, I believe. She's from Montgomery, Conroe area, local, and then so is Hannah. And then also Garrison is actually from Montgomery too, but he lives in Nashville now. So, dude, they're all going to come into town for my birthday jam this year, and it's just going to be one big party, 4 full bands, District 249 in Tomball. So if anybody wants to come out, it's definitely worth every bit of your time.
Yeah, and 249, great. That's a great place over there too. That place is massive. By the way, I didn't realize until the first time I went in there that they've got like, you know, it's a dance floor sometimes, it's a sports bar sometimes, they've got a stage, they've got that whole softball and stuff in the back, and I was like, what is going on? There's like everything here.
Man, it's versatile. I'll tell you that much, man.
Yeah, for sure.
We've played outside. They have an outdoor stage on the patio. We played with Roger Krager out there, like a few years back, which was insane because there's like 2,000 people outside, which they still had room for more. And then inside they have the indoor stage, which I think the capacity is 800 in there. So it's a big place, and they have like the volleyball courts, and they have like bars everywhere. They have like an upstairs section where that's like the upstairs section is going to be the VIP section for the birthday jam. Right. And Crown Royal will be up there. Heineken Silver will be up there passing out drinks and promo gear to all the VIPs. And there's like a private bathrooms, private bar. There's like a lounge, and you can literally, we'll be like on the TV. So if you're up in the getting a drink, you won't miss the show because you can watch it on TV and hear it throughout the venue. So it's just a cool spot, man. They've got something for every activity.
Hell yeah, man. I'll have to talk to my wife, and we'll have to see if we can come out there and check it out.
Dude, come on down, man. Come on down.
Yeah.
Get some VIP passes. I'll throw y'all some VIP passes. I'll make the trip down here. It'll be definitely something that'll be really cool to see and hang out.
Yeah, for sure, man. I'd love to do that. We're going, I think, this Friday to see Austin Meade over at Sawyer Park.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Place is literally 5 minutes from my house.
Okay, so you're over there, yeah.
Yeah.
Sawyer Park, yeah, that's a great venue, too. I know Zach's done some stuff over there in the past with some of his podcasts and stuff, too. By the way, Zach United, Texas Country Network. I didn't know. I guess we didn't mention that yet. But,
yeah.
Just throwing names around. But yeah, no, Sawyer Park's a great venue as well, so looking forward to that. You know, kind of going back to what we were talking about earlier with songwriting and stuff, what's your favorite song that you have written?
Man, that's a hard it's a hard question to answer. Because there's like, for me, there's so many different ways to gauge that. You know what I mean? Like, right. Like what I feel is a great lyrically written song, or like what I feel a song really did for me emotionally, or like like there's just so many different answers. But man, I really think if I have to give you an answer right now, I think my favorite song that I've written currently is Checking Boxes, Crossing Lines. Yeah. And that's the title track to my record coming up. It's out already. That song as a single is out. It came out June 21st, but it's the title track to my record that comes out October 4th. And that song to me, man, just really kind of ties in every bit of my life. Just because I went through a lot writing it. I was having to try to fund a record. I was like, man, I'm a small business owner, so it's tough just barely getting by. You know, everybody's struggling these days, and that's the whole kind of mood to that song is, you know, everybody's kind of getting fed up with how expensive and ridiculous it is to survive lately, just especially like people you and I as our age. You know, it's like, dude, we like buying a house is a lot different now than it was for our parents. Whether they got paid less or more, you know, like it's just still a lot different, you know. And a lot of that songwriting is just super from the heart and from personal experience. And I think personally that kind of makes the best songs as if the writer is coming from a real place. And that song is definitely a real place for me. So
yeah, and you know, hearing you give a little bit of that explanation, it makes it's all tied together really well in that music video too, that's out right on YouTube and a few other places. Which, man, that video is cool too. But I dig that song for sure. I've been playing it a lot lately, actually. So that's one of my favorite ones that you got out right now too.
I appreciate that, dude. Yeah, man, Drew Mitchell, my boy. He's incredible. He's learned a lot in a very short amount of time. And he's just totally taken the whole video game to the next level with man, he directed that music video. I wrote the storyline for that music video. And by the way, if you haven't seen the music video, go check it out. It's on YouTube. Checking Boxes, Crossing Lines.
I'll link it.
Yeah, drop the link in, man, because I was so was so impressed with how much the music video, it took on a whole different story from the song.
Yeah.
Like I really am proud of how dramatic the music video is, because it sends like this complete different message, but it's perfectly in line with what the song's about. And
Yeah.
Drew really captured it really well. So
Well, and yeah, just like the whole when and it captures the essence of what you're trying to convey, maybe in a more dramatic way, like you're saying, but then it like creates this whole other like form of art from it. Because you have the guy. Well, I don't want to give too much away. Go watch it. It's in the description. And
yeah,
then come back and tell us what you think.
exactly. Yeah,
But,
exactly.
yeah, man, just awesome work. And yeah, Drew, I remember talking to him, a while back and being like, after I saw some of the stuff he did, and, we went out to Cattle Country Music Festival in Gonzales. Me and Drew and Zach were out there, and I remember talking with him and being like, how long have you been doing videography work and stuff, man? Like, you're pretty good at this. I want to learn some stuff from you. He's like, well, like a few months. And I'm like, what? Like, you've already got all this equipment and all this, like, editing skills and stuff. I'm like, and you did it in a few months. I'm like, he's like, yeah, YouTube University, man.
Yeah,
right.
YouTube, bro. You can learn anything on YouTube. But, dude,
he's so humble, too, man. He's a good dude, for sure.
I always call him. I'm like, man, I got an idea. He's like, dude, hit me with it. I got 5 minutes. Let's go. And I'm like, man, here's my idea. And he's like, dude, don't ever stop giving me ideas. Like me and him just ping ideas off of each other. Like I'll just we'll call each other just randomly and be like, dude, what if we did this? And that's the kind of people that I create well with, because that's how I am, dude. Like my idea brain is just an eclectic ADHD like mess.
Oh, I get that.
and if anytime I can call somebody out of the blue and just be like, hey, what do you think about this? Let's do it. And then Drew's like, hell yeah, dude, let's do it. I'm like, really? Okay, yeah, let's go. And so shout out to Drew, man.
Yeah, Drew Mitchell. Follow him on the socials. But yeah, so I guess we did your favorite song. What's your favorite music venue that you've had the chance to play in? Perform?
Ooh, man, another tough one, dude. I don't know. I think recently my favorite one, not of all time, but my recent favorite one, was Corpus Christi. We played at Brewster Street down there, with Carson Jeffrey. We were on the bill with him, and, the place was so rad, dude. We literally come over the bridge on, I guess it's like 35 or whatever highway that is coming into Corpus Christi. And USS Lexington is right there to the left. Oh. You pull in and you just see this battleship from like World War I or II. And then you pull into the venue, and the stage, it's like kind of like got this Green Hall vibe, man. It's got like the shiplap white. And then even like the Brewster Street above like it says Brewster Street on the stage, it's the same font. So I'm sure it's probably related in ownership or something. But man, we just had a blast there because you're by the beach, and we got a little snookered up, if you will, after the show, and we hopped on Lime scooters. Dude, you ever rode a Lime scooter?
A little, yeah.
Yeah, they got them everywhere down there, and they also have the original Whataburger, which is, I guess, like a
two-story one, right?
The two-story one.
Yeah.
So we stayed at like the Hilton or something, and it was like 2 miles away from the Whataburger. So we rocked out in Corpus and had a great time with Carson and all them, and had some people there, and it was our first time playing, so we were just all hyped to be there. And then at the end of the night, we freaking strolled to Whataburger on Lime scooters and ate there. So I don't know, man. That's probably my recent favorite music venue that I played, just because of the whole vibe of the night was great.
Yeah, and Brewster Street, that's one I hear a lot. I got to get down there and check out that venue sometime for sure. I still need to go there. I still need to go to Green Hall, obviously. There's so many cool, just unique venues just around Texas, and then you get outside of Texas and there's even more. It's crazy.
Man, my dream venue, I think, like at the top 3 for sure, of all time would probably be Red Rocks.
Yeah. Red Rocks is just the scenery and the whole vibe there too is just nuts. And Co Wetzel and Treaty Oak are playing there later this year, and I was like, wow, I bet that's gonna be some crazy.
What? Dude, I'll book a flight right now. Dude, you in?
Yeah, let's go. But yeah, and it's just venues like that. The scenery is just as important sometimes. But now we got to ask the important question: the beans belong to Chili.
Oh man, hey, you do whatever the heck you want, Brian. Okay, I'll
That's a
put beans in
great
chili,
answer.
but I'll call it stew. I won't put beans in chili, and I'll call it chili. But dude, I'll be honest with you, man. I'm gonna eat it either way. I don't care. I don't
Yeah,
discriminate against food. If it's good, it's good. That's where I stand.
that's where I'm at too. I'm like, I mean, hey, does it taste good? Then I don't care. Put them in or leave
Yeah,
them out. But we're
yeah. If
team
you're talking,
beans because people can do what they want. This is
yeah,
America.
this is America, dude. It's the land of the free, land of the
Texas,
chili bowl.
free the chili.
Free the chili, bro.
Oh,
Yeah.
free the chili. Yeah, but that's the old William Clark Green and Rich O'Toole debate, right?
Yeah, I was about to
think
say if
that's
William Clark Green was here, he'd probably say something completely different. But
Didn't you do a show with him at 249 one time?
yeah, man, we played with Will.
A few
We
times.
played with him. I want to say more than once. I got to play golf with him, and that was fun. That was before our show at District. We played. I can remember when that was. It was a while ago. But yeah, dude, he's cool, man. That honestly, his songwriting is like I'm a real big fan of that. His songwriting, just because he's very like off the sleeve, very emotional. Like he writes with a purpose, and so getting to play with him was actually a really cool moment. Just because that was like one of the first. My brother actually, Tyler, he went to Texas Tech. He's my older brother, and he like ran with him and Josh Abbott and all those guys, and was at Texas Tech with all those guys, and that's how I found out who Will was because he played. My brother kind of was in the music business at one point, and he put on a few shows and managed a few bands, and he put on a show in Lubbock on Main Street, and William Clark Green actually played it, and like that was when he wasn't even like doing anything yet. This was 2009, I think. And I mean, he was doing stuff, but like, he's not nowhere, he wasn't anywhere where he is now, but I've just been a fan of his ever since. So
Yeah, and he's just he's a real genuine guy pretty much too. I mean, I met him out at Cattle Country and he's just like, hey, what's going on? I'm William. Kind of like,
yeah,
I heard it's just funny. He's like, I'm Will Green. I know
yeah,
who you are.
bro, we know.
Yeah, we know. I'm Brian. You don't know who I am. I know who you are.
Yeah. No, that's cool, man. Cause like he would come down to play around like Houston and surrounding areas. And I got to meet Josh because Josh Serrato played with them ever since the Rose Queen album. He was playing with William Clark Green, and Josh Serrato is a badass producer. He produced our first project back in like 2018. I did an EP called Side A, and that had like Drive and Dear Austin, Wouldn't Understand, and like 2 or 3 other songs on there. And we released that right before COVID. But anyways, like I got to meet Josh and I got to hang out with Will, and because they would always be in town, and Josh would hit me up or Will would say, hey, come to the show. And I kind of got to know those guys, and like they're just good dudes, man. The great musicians, great like people to hang out with. Like nothing's weird, it's just like, hey, this we're doing this, like, hey, come on and hang out with us. Like, so I really like that. And me, like Josh, we kind of got to know each other a little bit more, and I hit him up and I was like, hey man, I'm thinking about doing an album. And sure enough, man, like this year we went back up to Stephenville, and he produced the whole record for us, and he played guitar on the record. And we had Hunter Napier, which is Jacob Stelly's drummer. We had Jack Purtle on backup vocals, which is he plays bass or guitar for. I haven't met Jack yet, which I'm super bummed because he freaking sings like an angel, and he sang on my record. But he plays with Stelly too, and then we had Jake Taylor on the record. So dude, it's just crazy how like this whole time, man, like I've known Serrato, I've known Will, and like it kind of led into me doing my first record and getting to know so many more people. So
yeah, and it's just those guys are royalty now, man. They've been in the industry such a long time, and they've helped they think of where you got just through meeting them and hanging out with them, and and it's like they're helping the next generation of songwriters come up and do what they did, where they can, and that's cool to see.
Yeah, man, for sure.
Well, I kind of just want to give you a chance now to kind of plug anything you got coming up. If there's any new music coming out you want to let us know about. I know you still got the birthday jam coming up this weekend when this will drop, because this will drop on Tuesday. So next Tuesday.
Yeah, man. Club's going up on a Tuesday, bro. No,
Hell yeah.
yeah, I'm really excited. I'm really excited about all those things, man. I've got the record coming out October 4th. My next pre-release single comes out Friday, August 30th, and it's a song called "Good Time," and it's about a girl with a nose ring and tattoos all over her body, and she wants to have a good time, and it's a great song, dude. I really am proud of it, and it's gonna be just a good rockin', upbeat song about a badass chick that you can't get enough of. And so I'm looking forward to the release of that song, August 30th. Good Time comes out, available everywhere. And then, man, I actually started a new ticketing platform. So I'm hosting tickets for concerts and events, which is really cool because, one, I do an event every year. I do lots of events every year, quite frankly, but like I do the birthday jam every year. And this is kind of how it all started, man. Like I was selling tickets through an outsourced ticketing platform. And by the time it's all said and done, my friends were hitting me up and they're like, "Hey man, like what the heck is this?" Like it said it was $20, but I ended up paying like 35 to come see you play. And I'm like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, that's crazy. Like, cause I can't get around that. It's not me doing that. And it was an awkward moment where like a few people were like, "Dude, I can't believe you're just gouging me." Like, I'm like, dude, I'm not. Like, it's not me. I don't own that site. So I literally used that experience to fuel the fire and start my own ticketing platform called Cow Farm Tickets. And man, honestly, dude, like I literally think it should be very easy and affordable for people to come see people play music. Like, I don't think you should be charged double your ticket price by the time you check out.
Well, no, and
so
just show people what the price is, and then they pay it, or they don't.
And that's, dude,
well,
that is exactly my motto. Is no surprises, no bull. What you see is what you pay, and it literally, there's no convenience fees, there's no percentages, like. Or I'm not out here to make money. I'm literally out here just to change the world because it's getting ridiculous, man. Like, and Zach Bryan always did the whole "all my homies hate Ticketmaster."
Yeah, it's true though.
But like I know I'm not the first one with this particular idea in mind, but I hope I'm the first one to actually do it and do it right. And so yeah, man. I mean that's pretty much kind of what I got going on, dude. The ticketing platform. The new song coming out August 30th, and the new record coming out October 4th, and birthday jam, and man, we're just gonna keep going with it, dude. Yeah, very busy, but I love it.
Yeah, dude. Well, thanks for taking the time to come on the Red Dirt Aggie Show today, and thanks for taking the time to hang out with Zach. This has been the Red Dirt Aggie Show. I'm Brian, the Red Dirt Aggie. There is.
My name is Trent Cowie. Dude, thank you so much, brother. I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Gig 'em and God bless, and we'll see you next time.
God bless.